Good evening, sim racing fans across the globe, as we welcome you to LSRTV in the windy city of Chicagoland. It's time to bring in the finale, get ready to grab the confetti cannons, and put an end to an 8-race season that has spanned about the last 15 weeks as we conclude tonight's Real Sim Racing Outlaw Truck Series 2015 season on LSRTV with the finale, the Windy City Showdown from Chicagoland Speedway. And good evening, race fans. Jacob Seelman, Justin Rosenau, Brian Macklin in the LSR-TV broadcast tower as we get set to roll and get ready to crown a champion tonight, gentlemen. With the field that we've got, when Stefan Marinac takes the green flag tonight, it will be, for all intents and purposes, all locked up. Justin Rosenau, I will start with you because the season's been all about Jeff Ward. He's won 4 of 7 and yet sits 40 points back, 6th in points, missed a couple of races. Just one of those seasons where everything went right, and yet it's the little things that ultimately are going to hand the championship to Marinac. He had a championship in the Xfinity car, the Asphalt Assault Series with RSR a couple of years ago, and now adds a truck title to his resume when we drop the American Ethanol green flag tonight.
Yeah, and we can pretty much call this wrapped up. As far as the points scenario where it could be under any kind of question would be second place driver in points, I do believe, is going to be Jeff Ward. So if Jeff Ward leads all laps and Stefan Marinac finishes dead last, then we might come down to the wire on trying to figure out the points. But as far as that's concerned, ladies and gentlemen, as soon as the green flag flies, Stefan Marinac in that number 25 Mach 1 Racing Graphics Chevrolet gonna be your points champion this year. And Stefan, a great competitor throughout all 3 RSR series. He's really been one of the stalwarts for quite some time, and it's really good to see him do well. I mean, even with the up-and-coming talent here on the Wednesday night series, whether it's the Asphalt Assault or the Outlaw Truck Series, these guys are all capable of competing in the Full Throttle Cup Series.
And it's Marinac up by 26 points over Matt Lacrosse. Like I said, Jeff Ward 6th in points, 40 points back of the lead. So once that green flag drops tonight, he's out of it. Scott Simley's out of it. Nick Cohan out of it. Jose Gonzalez out of it. Matt Lacrosse needed 22 cars or more to show up tonight for him to have a chance. And I believe, Brian Macklin, we're going to have about 19 or 20 when we go green. So just a couple points short, and it would have taken a miracle for Lacrosse. Lead all the laps. Marinac basically blow up on lap 1. And yeah, the model of consistency, 5 top 10s in 7 starts, 4 of them top 5s. He picked up a win. He's been good.
Yeah, Stefan Marinac has been on top of it, and I spoke to Matt Lacrosse earlier, and that's exactly what he said. He knew that even if a full field showed up, it was going to take a miracle for him to win this championship, and he admitted that there were mistakes he made throughout the season that really cost him a lot of points and put him out of contention for this championship. So he was very aware that it just wasn't meant to be for this season, but Stefan Marinac has been absolutely unstoppable this season with his consistency. He doesn't go up there and lead a lot of laps and run away with these races like we're so accustomed to seeing Jeff Ward do, but he's constantly right there, like you said, in the top 5, staying right there towards the front, not getting caught up in wrecks, and doing exactly what he needs to do to win the championship. And I don't think there's anybody else in this field that deserves the championship more than he does, because he's just been the model of consistency and the model of what a champion is.
So we'll give the trophy to Stefan at the end of the night tonight, of course, providing he takes the green flag. Justin, though, all eyes, I think, tonight going to be on Anthony DeBarro and the Boomtown Sim team. DeBarro has been on fire of late. He's done everything, including win one of these Outlaw Truck Series races. Finally picked one up a couple of races ago, and maybe on pace to take another one tonight. I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what he's capable of, because he's been the only one that can really take it to Jeff Ward, and it's going to be a titanic fight, a battle of the Titans tonight to close it all up.
Well, kind of speak of the devil, Jacob. I got a hot tip from one Jeff Ward saying that he believes this is Anthony DeBarro's race to lose. And Anthony DeBarro just got bumped down by the 10,000th of a second by the 96 team truck of Mitch Rollo. Mitch Rollo sitting on top of qualifying right now, 31.628 seconds, along with the same time posted on the screen by Anthony Navarro, so the gap is going to be in the 10,000ths of a second range. So very narrow split up at the front row there, especially here tonight.
It's going to be fun to watch all night long. Of course, the battle is going to be for the win. And Brian, I'm curious to come to you now. Mitch Rollo didn't think maybe he would be one to keep our eyes on, but that could be the spoiler in this whole party tonight.
Yeah, this is a track that it's a driver's track. These guys, I was actually out there doing a little bit of testing myself, and this setup is a little bit on the free side. These guys are really going to get up on the wheel and drive it. So if you're able to handle a truck that is a little bit loose, then you're going to be able to go to the front. And it's going to be a lot about tire conservation. And we've been talking about that for several weeks now, but that's going to be the key. This is an old surface. It's going to wear the tires out, and these guys are really going to have to be able to manage them. And Mitch Rollo is one of those guys that he never really lights it up as far as speed is concerned, but when he wants to get up there and run for it, he can do it. He's got the long run speed normally, and he can get up there and do it. The other thing I noticed is these guys should be able to run on the outside line in 1 and 2, and maybe be able to make a little bit of side-by-side racing. The outside line works fairly well here through 1 and 2, so that's something to look forward to as well.
Did I mention side-by-side racing yet? We probably haven't, but it's going to be fun to watch, Justin. And this is a track that's tough to run side-by-side at. It's bumpy, it's wore out, but it makes it a whole lot of fun, and especially these trucks, they punch such a big hole through the air. You can really get a good run on somebody, especially down the back straightaway, which is one of the most unique on the entire service in that, well, it's not totally straight.
Yeah, it's kind of a curved backstretch, so it's kind of a unique characteristic that you find on older short tracks, especially my local track, Berlin Raceway, has a very round back straightaway. So this track here lends itself a little bit of a unique characteristic, not your standard cookie cutter mile-and-a-half trial racetrack that you see on the NASCAR Cup schedule. This track certainly has its own characteristics that make it unique from the rest of the similar shaped racetracks. So as far as that's concerned, I mean, the Drafter is a big contender, especially in the lower series where you have much lower horsepower. But yeah, I'm telling you what, Jacob, it's really anybody's race, especially, you know, with as tight as these qualifying times are. I mean, we're talking I'm counting almost 10 drivers within 1/10 of a second of each other here just in qualifying times.
So, let's see. If I made you pick right now, Brian, you first, who do you like, or who are you keeping your eye on at the very least?
Well, you know, this is a night of opportunity for a lot of these drivers. As we've already spoke about, Stefan Marinak's locked the championship up. So for everybody else, this isn't about points. This is about going out there and trying to finish the season on a high note. I'm going to go with Matt Lacrosse. He's second in points, or I'm sorry, he's second in points. He didn't have the luck that he needed to try to get up there and try to win this championship, so now he has nothing to lose. He can take some gambles. He can go for a two-tire strategy towards the end of the race, or maybe stay out on a late caution. I'm going to go with Matt Lacrosse. I think he's got a good shot at it.
Justin?
Well, I'm going to take the unexpected route. I'm not going to go with an RCO Boomtown driver. I'm going to go with tonight's points champion of this series. I'm going to go with the 25 of Stefan Marinak. Once the green flag flies, like we said all along during the pre-race show here, it's going to be really nothing for Stefan Marinak to really lose. He could finish dead last. We have 20 trucks now in the server, all taking time here in the qualifying session, so he can actually go for broke and try to put himself in victory lane if he really wants to.
It's going to be fun to watch, isn't it? All night long. So many storylines. I'm going to go a little bit of the unexpected route myself, but I am going to pick an RCO Boomtown truck. I'm actually going to go with Mitch Rollo. I think the 96 is going to have a fun shot at this tonight, and he wants a win badly. He doesn't care what series it's in. He wants one, and I say maybe he gets it tonight.
He certainly could. You know, one of the better drivers in the RSR Full Throttle Cup Series. He's done very well for himself of late. Every once in a while he'll find himself in a trouble spot, but once he corrects those issues that he finds himself in on occasion in whatever series it is that Real Sim Racing is running, he can certainly put himself right up there with guys like David Comstock, Dwayne Vincent, those guys that have been such, you know, tour de forces, if you will, in the Cup Series. So Mitch Rollo, great pick by you, Jacob. You know, that'll be an interesting one here to watch tonight.
And we'll watch it all as we've got about a minute and a half, just under 90 seconds now to go in this qualifying session. Everybody trying to go out and get one more run. Actually, the Boomtown trucks are all lined up, Justin, trying to see if they can't utilize the draft to get one more good run in, and they've run some laps in this session. Mitch Rollo actually taking about 13 laps, and yeah, he and DeBarro, again, like you said, it's down to the 10,000th of a second to determine which one of the two of them is on the pole. Mitch Rollo's got it right now, but I like the cat in third, the 70 truck, J.D. Laird. I mean, 9/1000ths of a second off, and I don't know that a lot of us expected the speed out of that 70 truck necessarily, but a solid lap that he put down.
Well, you can't necessarily count out J.D. Laird. We watched on Monday night one of the Weedam boys crew goes to victory lane, and that was Pedro Mojica on Monday night in the Full Throttle Cup Series. So, you know, an unexpected way that these guys all got together on the racetrack to form themselves a great partnership in the making already, with drivers like Chad Coleman, Pedro Mojica, and J.D. Laird all behind the scenes, and a couple other drivers possibly in the mix as well. So those guys, certainly one to keep your eye on. It's really kind of refreshing, because it's really been steel horse racing versus RCO Boomtown, especially over the last month or so. But with that said, Jacob, I think it's time we got to go down trackside.
Red and black flags flying right now. Qualifying is over. Boomtown sweeps the front row, and as Justin said, at this time, we're going to send it trackside to the infield here at Chicagoland Speedway for tonight's opening ceremonies.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
And with opening ceremonies wrapped up, and that's the way as we start the season finale to honor the greatest country in the world. And we take you down trackside now for tonight's RSR starting grid on the pole and to the outside with identical laps of 31.628 seconds down to the 10,000th. Mitch Rollo in the RCO Boomtown number 96 gets the pole over his teammate in the 46th, Anthony DeBarro, to the outside.
Starting inside row number 2 in the number 70 JDR Graphics Toyota, going to be J.D. Laird, and starting outside of him in the 4th spot, the number 21 Fox Chevrolet of Matt Lacrosse.
Starting in row number 3, the Unical 76, number 89 Chevrolet Silverado, Jeff Ford. To his outside, the Meatball Machine, Jose Gonzalez. He's starting in the 6th position.
87 Christopher Hurlow inside of row number 4. To his outside, the soon-to-be champ, Stefan Marinac.
Inside row number 5, the number 88 of Paul Williams II, and starting outside of him in 10th, going to be the 7 of Cody Gibson.
In the 11th position is the number 55 of Anthony Palumbo, and to his outside is the number 53, Nicholas Cohan. He's starting 12th.
13th tonight going to be the 03 Thomas Lattimore. Kevin Linden, the 48, rolls 14th.
Inside row number 8, the number 14 of Scott Simley in 15th, and outside of him in the 16th starting spot, the 41 of Jared Como.
Starting in the 17th position, David Camara driving the number 71. In the 18th position is Dwayne Vinson. He is in the number 13 truck.
Wyatt Wolf, John Klickner rounding out your 20-truck field for the finale, the Windy City Showdown here at Chicagoland Speedway. It's going to be 110 laps, and we're glad you're along for the ride here on LSRTV. The iRacing Ford First Mustang pace car hits for pit road, and for the final time this season, the American Ethanol green flag flies, and we're underway here at Chicagoland. Mitch Rollo on the jump. They head down to turn 1, and that 96 going to have the early advantage as they're trying to shuffle 3 wide back in the pack around the 07, or the 87 rather, Christopher Hurlow.
3 wide, now 2 wide. Going to be the 87 of Christopher Hurlow on the bottom side of the 21 of Matt Lacrosse. Matt Lacrosse trying to battle back on the outside. He drives it in deeper in 3 than does the 87 of Christopher Hurlow. Hurlow now battling back on the bottom side. Not going to clear the 21 of Matt Lacrosse, but he's going to go down to the apron and try to buy himself a little bit of racing room on the racetrack as they start to sail off towards turn 1.
Rollo leads the opening lap, but I don't know how long he will keep it. Battle for the lead heating up in turn number 2. Anthony DeBar all over the rear deck lid of the 96, and he's got a rear view mirror full, battling for second down the back straightaway. J.D. Laird taking a peek to the inside. He'll grab second into 3 in the 70.
J.D. Laird to second, but don't count out the 46 of DeBarro as he's battling back, trying to look for the crossover move out of 4 to almost 3 wide now for the lead as we come across the stripe. The 96 of Rollo going to have it just edged out a little bit over J.D. Laird as J.D. Laird still keeps it in the middle, and it's 3 wide now. J.D. Laird to the point in 1.
Like a hot dog out of a bun. J.D. Laird from the middle groove to the point off turn number 2. He may not keep it for the whole lap. DeBarro looking down low in 3. That 46 wants the lead. He's got the shot to the inside.
DeBarro working to the inside, might not clear the 70 of J.D. Laird and does not, but he goes down to the apron. He's going to nip the 70 of J.D. Laird. Lead change at the stripe. DeBarro to the point. The 89 of Jeff Ward now clears the 96 of Mitch Rollo. Move him to 3rd, and he wants more in 1.
Hey, Brian, I swear I thought we were only on lap 3. We're racing like it's the white flag already. What the heck is up with this?
Oh, these guys are fired up, and you can tell by the way they're racing. This is amazing racing this early on, and hopefully it lasts all race. These guys are putting on one heck of a show here as Anthony DeBarro just barely squeezes ahead of J.D. Laird off 4.
Wow, that was tight. DeBarro used him up. Coming through 3 and 4 that time by RCO Boomtown Sim runs 1-4-5 right now as Anthony DeBarro leading the way. Christopher Hurlow's run up to 4th continues, and the battle for the lead down the back straightaway. Laird looking inside. Nobody can get away from anybody. The 70 headed for turn 3 inside looking for the top spot.
DeBarro trying to hold on to that top spot out of turn number 4. Still on the outside. 3 wide now for the lead. Jeff Ward down to the apron. Not going to make it happen as the 70 of J.D. Laird shuts the door on the 89 of Jeff Ward. The 46 of DeBarro still battling strong on the high side. DeBarro got the lead at the stripe by just 24 thousandths of a second. Laird now to the point out of turn 2.
JD tagged him and gets loose. He's trying to save it down to the apron. Hangs on to that number 70 truck, but gonna lose a ton of time. DeBarro hangs on to the lead, and Laird back in the middle of everything, and I think Jeff Ward may have gotten a piece of that as well.
Jeff Ward did get a piece of that. The 7 of Cody Gibson had a tough run there through turns 3 and 4. Went all the way down to the apron to save the truck. He got to gather back up. He's going to find himself at the tail end of the longest line there. Big gaggle of trucks a little bit further back. Going to be around the 26 of Jose Gonzalez. Got a battle with the 88 of Paul Williams, the 48 of Kevin Linden, and the 70 of J.D. Laird. These guys mixing it up, going 2 and 3 wide here in the back of the pack.
Okay, I'm going to catch my breath here for just a second because that was a nutty opening 7 laps to this race. Anthony DeBarro trying to establish it out front. Jeff Ward, who said he wasn't going to be a factor, rides second. Hurlow, Rollo, Lacrosse, the top 5. J.D. Laird's halfway burned the tires off. That truck already in the 70 just barely slides up in front of the 13 of Dwayne Vincent. It's tight. That's the battle for 13th.
Yeah, Dwayne Vincent mired in the back of the pack here. Not a usual starting spot for him in that 13 Toyota-colored Tundra there. J.D. Laird now goes to the outside, makes it 3 wide across the stripe around the outside of the 26 of Jose Gonzalez. The 13 of Dwayne Vincent gets Hospital Wiggle loose on the bottom on the apron, and he gathers it back up, move Laird up 2 spots in 1 corner.
And a battle for the lead heating up Jeff Ward was inside a 10th last time by. He's looking for the lead in turn number 3. Jeff Ward in the 89 down to the bottom of the racetrack. DeBarro rolling the momentum on the high side. That Unical 76 entry grabs the lead just barely 7/1,000ths of a second across the stripe. 9 laps in the books.
Ward now clears the 46 of DeBarro. DeBarro now going down to the bottom, almost trying to pull over. A crossover on the 89 of Jeff Ward. Now looking at the quarter panel of that Unical 76 Chevrolet of Ward. The 46 of DeBarro now on the bottom, rolling that center, trying to take the lead back now out of turn number 4. And Ward going to battle back on the high side and reclaim it, possibly at the stripe.
Ward's trying. He gets it that time across the stripe, but the Boomtown contingent is coming to the front. They ride second, third, fourth. Matt Lacrosse and Stefan Marinak are back there 5th and 6th, and Jeff Ward has no room to breathe. He's got 2 car lengths in front of the rest of the field. And the scary thing is, we're only 11 laps in at Chicagoland. The Boomtown boys trying to go 3 wide. Mitch Rolo says, excuse me, pardon me, coming through. He'll take 3rd as we come back to the stripe. And Brian, I'm telling you, there is no shortage of action right now.
And this has been by far the most exciting opening 11-12 laps that I have seen in a long time. These guys are up on the wheel. They want to get the job done. They know this is the last race of the season, and they are all going after it right now. And this has been amazing racing right here. We are starting to see Jeff Ward get away by a little bit right now. Those guys racing behind him allowed him to kind of make a little bit of a gap. It's going to be interesting to see if he's able to hold on to that as the laps go on.
12 laps complete this time as they cross the stripe. It's Ward, DeBarro, Rolo, Hurlo, Lacrosse, your top 5 as the Windy City Showdown is in its opening stages. We're going to do some business, and we'll be back with more here on LSRTV right after this from Chicagoland Speedway. This is the RSR Outlaw Truck Series.
In the outside, contact made. 56 slides it at a 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
Cars are lined up on the grid. The Irish.com World Championship Grand Prix Series. We are underway. They all come down into turn 1 for the first time.
Welcome back to LSRTV and the season finale for the RSR Outlaw Truck Series. It has been an insane opening stint to the Windy City Showdown from Chicagoland Speedway. We welcome you up into the Inside Sim Racing Broadcast Tower. Jacob Seelman, Justin Rosenau, Brian Macklin in the booth as I think we're still trying to catch our breath 20 laps into this race. Jeff Ward, the Unical 76 Chevrolet Silverado, out in front over two of the RCO Boomtown Sim teammates. Anthony DeBarro second, Mitch Rollo third. And Justin, we watched an incredible save by the championship leader and soon-to-be crowned champion, Stefan Marinac. He and Christopher Hurlow got together a couple of laps ago, and I don't know how the 25 truck hung on to it.
It's just pure skill. The 25 of Marinac and the 87 Hurlow just banged wheels in turns 3 and 4. Hurlow on the bottom side trying to make that room a little bit more wider, if you know what I'm trying to say. Marinac just tried to shut the door but didn't realize the 87 was there. Both of them still saved it. Minimal damage to both of them trucks.
The top three have made it a clean breakaway, more than 2 seconds ahead of fourth place Matt Lacrosse right now. In fact, it's 2.7 back from Jeff Ward to Matt Lacrosse in fourth right now. Nicholas Cohan has moved up nicely in the 53 truck to run fifth. Then it's Christopher Hurlow, who's rebounded to sixth with Marinac on his rear deck lid in seventh. Kevin Linden eighth. Dwayne Vincent halfway through the field from where he started, 18th to 9th, and Scott Simley rounding out the top 10. J.D. Laird in the 70 back just behind Simley in 11th after his early race save down the back straightaway. So it's been an interesting first 22 laps of this race, and that leaves us with about 88 laps remaining. So still a lot of time for things to be done. And Brian, the closer we get to about lap 40, 45 or so, the closer we get to what I would imagine would be around a green flag pit stops.
Yeah, and these guys are probably going to be really excited to get on pit road. Looking at their lap times here, they've already dropped off almost a full second from what they qualified at. They were qualifying at 31.6 lap times, and right now the leader, Jeff Ward, just ran a 32.504, so almost a full second drop off. So when they get to that point, they're probably going to have seen almost another second fall off on their tires, and they're really going to be wanting to get on pit road. And it's really impressive to me. Jeff Ward, who said earlier today that he was not going to be a factor, he's out front leading this race, and he's maintaining his lead. He's not really falling back to these guys too much, and he's not really giving them much right now, as he's maintained about a 0.3 of a second lead. He actually did lose about a 1/10 right there this last time by, but for the non-factor guy, he's out front and doing a really good job so far.
Yeah, I believe, Justin, that would be what we call not showing all your cards at the table.
I may have been duped because I was the person that received that tidbit of information here before we went live here on LSR TV from Jeff Ward himself. So Jeff doing the best he can to stay out front, and he's actually maintaining that gap. It's about 2.5 truck lengths right now over Anthony DeBarro, but I believe, Jacob, we're back to the Jeff Ward and Anthony DeBarro show again at the front of the field.
Don't let Mitch Rollo hear you say that too loudly. He's right there in third, and I imagine he's got an inkling of trying to make something happen tonight as well.
Certainly is quite the case there, as Rollo now on the racetrack. Trouble on the racetrack. Caution waving for the first time on lap 26.
It's the points leader. Marinac's around back straightaway and looks like he's got maybe a touch of right front damage, nothing major, but that Mach 1 Racing Graphics Silverado, the 25 machine, that's not how you want to see a championship race go, but you see the replay now, and from what I see, Justin just lost it.
Looked like the truck got tight out of turn number 2 and just hit the wall ever so slightly, and just Marinac losing control of the truck because of the curved back straightaway. It's not actually straight, not very much time to allow the truck to settle on that back straightaway, so that could be the cause of that lazy spin there on the backstretch, bringing out the caution for the first time on lap 26.
All right, Jeff Ward leading the train down. They're headed pit side, and Brian Macklin, I imagine we're going to be watching and seeing what the leader does, because it's all about the tire game now.
Oh yeah, all these drivers are coming down getting 4 fresh tires. Everybody's been complaining about the truck being slightly tight here tonight. We were expecting a loose condition, but the weather must have changed, and it's turned these guys into a little bit of a tight condition. And we've got Jeff Ward and the rest of the leaders hitting their pit stalls now, getting 4 fresh tires. And the 21 of Matt LaCrosse slid through his box and has got to back up. So does JD Laird as he's trying to get into his box now. Everybody's getting their 4 tires, getting their fuel. We have another one back there that slid through his box. These guys are having a hard time getting slowed up. Jeff Ward is now down and away. It's going to be a race off pit road, and Mitch Rollo is going to win that battle.
Survey says the number 1 pit stall pays dividends. Rollo wins the race off pit road. We'll reset it for you in just a moment. From Chicagoland Speedway, this is the RSR Outlaw Truck Series on LSRTV.
Truex in the outside, contact made. 56 slides it into 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
Welcome back to Chicagoland Speedway as we bring you back in the Inside Sim Racing broadcast tower for the Windy City Showdown. Jacob Seelman, Justin Rosenau, Brian Macklin here on LSRTV as we're gearing up for the first American Ethanol Green Flag restart of the night. The American Ethanol Green Flag in the air, and Jeff Ward, the man on the point, as we're back underway as Ward takes the lead down to turn number 1 on the inside lane, and Boomtown 2, 3, and 4. Christopher Hurlow back in the mix and looking for third off turn 2.
Yep, off turn 2 down the back straightaway. They're trying to get in line here. We're looking to see as it looks like Christopher Hurlow is going to stay to the inside here of Anthony DeBarro as they go off into turn number 3. He looks like he's going to go 3 wides. Now we have a battle for the lead. Mitch Rollo's to the inside of Jeff Ward. Jeff Ward's way up the track now. The 3 wide for second as they come off turn 4 down to the front stretch.
Across the stripe they come, still 3 wide. They settle it out finally. Rollo to the point, Ward back to second, and from there, Brian, it's anybody's guess. They can't decide who wants to go in line and who doesn't.
Yeah, these guys are all over the place right now, and they're doing the same thing we saw at the beginning of this race. They are racing hard. Here comes JD Laird up to the top 5. Remember, he was out of this thing a few laps ago. Now he's back in the top 5 as they're 3 wide for second again as they come across the stripe. Jeff Ward, Christopher Hurlow, or Anthony DeBarro, 3 wide as they go off into turn 1. They're still fighting 3 wide. JD Laird's looking to try to make it 4 wide. He's not able to do it yet. It looks like Jeff Ward is going to, he's actually going to hang in there. He's going to stay to the outside and keep it 3 wide as they come off turn number 2.
Can I breathe yet? This is nutty right now. They were 3 by 3 for about a half a lap, and we still can't sort it out. Laird, oh! Hang on to it, hang on to it. DeBarro goes around hard into the wall. Trouble off turn 4. Caution flag flies at lap 32.
Oh man, that was a huge crash. Anthony DeBarro just started losing the control of his truck off the corner, and he slid up and just got into the right rear or left rear quarter panel of his teammate, and then it just created a stack up. JD Laird had nowhere to go, and then all these guys just piled in. What a big wreck right there.
What a mess. DeBarro claims it under caution, and we'll do a little more business. Take advantage of that while we've got our second Service Master Clean caution of the night. Mitch Rollo, your new leader, back with more from Chicagoland in a moment.
Trucking has always been a part of me. It started years ago when my dad and granddad were hauling vegetables to market in Liverpool. The family immigrated to Canada in the late 60s and settled near Alliston, Ontario. I bought my first truck in 1982 and Mercer Trucking was born. Today, Mercer Trucking has over 50 trucks in terminals in Toronto and Los Angeles. Our storage facilities at both terminals can handle any size of distribution needs throughout North America. We service the continental U.S., including Hawaii and Alaska. We run over 120,000 miles per month and some of the best equipment on the road today. We specialize in less than truckload shipments, show freight, we do rush team service deliveries, and haul your refrigerated or heated product. Our regular team service from Canada to California is second to none, and our staff and drivers are among the best in the business. I'm proud of our people and what they can achieve. Trucking is in my blood, it's my livelihood, and it's what I do best.
Welcome back to LSRTV, wrapping up our second Service Master Clean caution flag of the night. Sparked when Anthony DeBarro's truck got a little bit loose coming off of turn number 4. Sparked a 6-truck melee coming down the front straightaway and put his teammate Mitch Rollo officially out front, got the lead the lap before the caution flag flew. So now, Brian Macklin, we're going to reset for a restart and get ready to have a little bit of fun. Boomtown on the inside, and you've got Steel Horse Racing on the outside in the form of Jeff Ward and Nick Cohan. So we're about to see what's going to shake out. The iRacing Ford First Mustang pace car is gone. And this restart powered by American Ethanol. If it's good enough for NASCAR, it's good enough for your car. American-made, American-grown, powering NASCAR. Leaders down to turn number 1. Boomtown goes 1-2. Mitch Rollo to the point. And now a new player to second. Christopher Hurlow down to the bottom and clear off 2.
Yep, as they go down the back straightaway, Jeff Ford looks to the inside of the number 03. Thomas Lattimore, also a new player up there. Is he's actually going to be able to make that pass? He moves into the 3rd position, now sets his sights on Christopher Hurlow as they come off turn number 4. And these guys are scattering back here in the pack again. We're already starting to see 2 and trying to make 3 wide racing through the middle of the pack as Mitch Rollo holds the lead as he goes off into turn number 1.
Yeah, and getting a good look at some hairy racing as we work off 2 down the long back straightaway here at Chicagoland. They're wheel-to-wheel back about 6th place right now, but the front 4 all single file, and it's still that 2-car Boomtown train out front. But look at the 89 Ward coming back on the bottom.
Coming back on the bottom indeed. He looks like he's trying to make a run on Christopher Hurlow. Was not able to get the job done right there, so he's going to have to stay in line. Meanwhile, they are still 2 and trying to make 3 wide back here in the back, and we've got the meatball machine Jose Gonzalez moving up into the 6th position, and he's got a line of trucks behind him trying to make something happen here. As it does look like the I'm trying to see the number here, our championship points leader Stefan Marinak's also trying to make something happen back here as they go off into turn 3.
8th place, Marinak in that 25 truck down on the bottom, trying to make something happen. Wheel to wheel as it's a 4-truck breakaway out front. 3 to the apron. Thomas Lattimore in the 03 up high. They're headed for 1. Jeff Ward's headed to the outside for 2nd.
To the outside for 2nd, and he's not going to have the grip as he falls back off the corner, and Christopher Hurlow is going to be able to clear him and hold on to the 2nd position. Jeff Ward still trying to make something happen as they go off into turn number 3. He is desperate to try to get back to the front. He falls in line for the time being. He did not want it to give away to the 4th place driver, Thomas Lattimore. He's going to hold into the 3rd position for the time being as they come off turn 4 down the front stretch.
All right, Brian, so walk me through Jeff Ward's thought process in the 89. Why go to the outside now? We're not even halfway.
He's just testing the waters. He's trying to figure out what he can do, what he can't do, what will work, what won't work. Is now he's to the inside off turn number 2 as they almost made contact. Christopher Herlo got a little loose off the corner, and it almost created a mayhem for those two drivers. As now Jeff Ward is to the inside of him, going to try to use the bottom of the track this time to make the pass. Herlo is going to get the momentum off the corner, and he's going to be able to hold on for the time being. They're still side by side as they go off into turn 1. Mitch Rollo is trying to use the draft to pull his teammate ahead with him.
I'll take Jeff Ward to the bottom for $500, Alex, because that inside lane is the place to be, Brian. That Unical 76 Silverado down the back, got the run. He's going for second, and he may have it by the time they get off turn 4.
Yeah, he pitched it off into turn number 3. It looked like he was going to be able to clear him, but he was not able to do it. They're still side by side as they go across the start-finish line. These guys are putting on one hell of a show as they go into turn number 1.
Ward now on the bottom, trying to challenge for the lead with Mitch Rollo. Rollo throws the block on the bottom side. That's going to allow the 96 Rollo to stay out front out of 2. And that's going to get the advantage now to the 87 of Christopher Herlo, who's battling back on the high side, trying to take P2 away from the 89 of Jeff Ward. 03 of Thomas Lattimore now follows in 4th.
Follows and trying to make a run for 3rd as they work off of turn number 4, but it's not going to pay off. And now what may pay off is the apron for Jeff Ward. He is sweeping down, trying to get a run. Rollo leads it by a truck length back to turn number 1, and you see the top 4 in the frame there as we work now lap number 43 of 110. So starting to close in, gentlemen, on the halfway point of this race. And I'm looking back behind this 4-truck breakaway. The guy who's just broken into 5th, that 26 truck, Justin, the meatball mobile, as we say, Jose Gonzalez coming to play.
Yeah, he's starting to close the gap now on the 53 of Nick Cohan. They actually just got around him here this time by at the stripe. Move Jose Gonzalez now up inside the top 5 solidly. He's got about a couple truck lengths to get going, and then there's a battle for the lead up in front ahead. Actually, it's a pass for the lead. Jeff Ward to the point out of turn 2, and he takes the lead away from Mitch Rollo.
He did take it away, and with a power move, no less, off of turn number 2, just made sure there was no doubt. So the Unical Chevrolet Silverado back to the point as we work lap number 44, again closing in on halfway. So as Jeff Ward now pulls out to about a 3-truck length advantage, the battle is 2nd through 5th. 96 Mitch Rollo leads the train. 26 of Jose Gonzalez brings up the caboose to that 4-car battle, Brian, and it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, these guys are starting to get racy again. Thomas Lattimore looks like he's trying to make something happen. He did not have the run to get to the inside of Christopher Herlo right now, but he is coming. These guys are all over each other right now. This is some of the best racing we have seen all season long, and they are not disappointing us in the season finale.
Continuing to watch this battle, and look at Lattimore get really tight there off the end of the front straightaway. Thought he was going to tag Christopher Herlo in the 87 for an instant. That Harley Davidson number 03 falls into line though, and again Jeff Ward running away from the rest of the party. We're going to be 46 complete this time by, and Justin, the whole complexion of this race changed about 14 laps ago now when Anthony DeBarra, who everybody had pegged as the guy who was going to ultimately probably be one of the top 2 in this race tonight, gets a little bit loose in 3 and 4. 6-truck melee ensues down the front straightaway, and now you've got the 89 of supposed non-factor Jeff Ward back out front.
Supposed non-factor. Well, how about this, folks? He's starting to run away with this thing. We're getting towards halfway, and he's opened up over a half-second gap over the 96 of Mitch Rollo. And it's 4 cars underneath a blanket for second spot. It's got the 87 of Christopher Herlo right behind the 96 of Mitch Rollo. The 03 of Lattimore and the 26 of Gonzalez all battling for that second spot as 4 trucks trying to go side by side and back and forth. First guy to flinch, kinda, sorta, is going to be the 87 Herlo. He thought about taking the bottom side there in 3, and Rollo just thought better of it. He's going to shut the door on his teammate, and Gonzalez now battling with Lattimore now for P4.
And we'll catch up this battle as Jose Gonzalez to the inside to try and take that 4th position away, and he will do it off the exit, off turn number 4, and dive down to the apron. So with 48 laps going in the record books, when we come back, we should be just about at halfway, and we'll take you through a full field rundown here in the Windy City from Chicagoland Speedway. This is LSRTV and coverage of the RSR Outlaw Truck Series.
contact made. 56 slides it at a 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even. Give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
Cars are lined up on the grid. The RSR World Championship Grand Prix Series. We are underway. They all come down into turn 1 for the first time.
Welcome back to LSRTV and the Windy City Showdown from Chicagoland Speedway. We are coming to complete the halfway lap, and that means it's time for a full field rundown presented by Ford. Go further and out front of this field by 9/10 of a second. The 89 Unical Chevrolet Silverado of Jeff Ward leading the party. Mitch Rollo in the RCO Boomtown Sim number 96 rides second, and his teammate Christopher Hurlow in third. Jose Gonzalez has had a nice run, started sixth. He's quietly moved up to fourth, and Thomas Lattimore's great night continues. 13th to 5th for the 03 Harley-Davidson entry. Nick Cohan in the K&M Filters number 53 rides sixth. Then Cody Gibson's rebounded from an early race incident to roll seventh, and Stefan Marinak, the champion, the newly crowned champion of this series, rides 8th. Matt Lacrosse 9th, and Anthony Palumbo has climbed his way to the top 10.
Positions 11 through the end of the field in 20. So the 11th spot going to go to the 71 of David Camara. 13 of Dwayne Vincent rides 5 seconds back of Jeff Ward in 12. J.D. Laird in the 70. He's going to be in 13th, followed by the 14 of Scott Simley in 14. Wyatt Wolf Jr. is going to be in the 56. He's running 15th right now, followed behind by the 88 of Paul Williams. And the last car on the lead lap is going to be the 23 of John Clickner, 14 seconds back of the leader. And the last truck on the track right now, 41 Jared Como, 10 laps down after that big incident. And two drivers done for the night, the 48 of Kevin Linden and the 46 of Anthony DeBarro.
That's a look at your full field rundown here at lap number 58, powered by Ford. Go further, and as we look down the leaderboard, Justin, you mentioned him. We're going to chase him via the headset here in just a moment, catch up with Anthony DeBarro, who unfortunately is out of this race. And actually think we may be able to dial him up right now on our Racing Electronics communications from down in the pit area. Anthony DeBarro, Jacob Seelman in the LSRTV broadcast booth. And, I really don't know where to start, my friend, because you had a fantastic truck. It looked like you were going places, and then all of a sudden, it broke loose on the bottom, and from there, it was just anybody's guess. From your point of view, what happened?
Oh, well, honestly, I want to apologize to anyone that got caught up in that because I was driving way over my head and I should have been a little more patient than getting 3 wide like that. But I just got the apron and I didn't want to get into my teammate above me, so I kind of got the cup down, and then it was a chain reaction from that.
For you, you were hoping for a win tonight, Anthony, and you had the truck capable of doing it, qualified outside pole, and we're running up front, challenging for the lead. I mean, how crushing was that blow to see it end the way it did so soon after knowing how much speed you had in this truck tonight?
It stinks, you know. I really thought I had a shot at least a good top 2, top 3 finish, and it's over well before it should have been. So I don't really know what to say because I feel I'm disappointed in myself, and I feel bad for my team that I had to represent them like this.
You still got 2 teammates up there running second and third, trying to chase down that 89 and Jeff Ward, but I know for you, that truck just unfortunately looks like destined for the scrap heap after this final race of the season. Anthony did pick up a win, though, earlier in the year, so at least something to hang the hat on, and we'll look forward to seeing you coming up here back in the Full Throttle Cup Series on Monday night.
Thank you. Have fun up there tonight.
That's Anthony DeBarro and our On Pit Road and in-car communications powered by Racing Electronics, the #1 name in communications at the racetrack and in the sim racing world. And as we continue to roll now, lap 63 of 110, and chaos is reigning. Christopher Hurlow, I just talked about him, Justin. He was running third, and then chaos.
Chaos bit the 87 Christopher Hurlow in the RCO Boomtown Toyota. He actually got loose out of turn 2 that last time by on his lap there on lap 62. Gathered it back up and thought it was time for him to come down pit road and put 4 fresh Goodyear tires on that truck. He's going to fall now a lap down along with the 70 of JD Laird.
And while all that was going on, Jeff Ward has extended the gap to 1.2 seconds. And Brian Macklin, we're watching lap 64 get ready to go in the books right now, and maybe 16 to 18 more laps before we see green flag pit stops for the final time. About 20 or 25 to go, we think.
Yeah, realistically, they could pit anywhere from this point forward and make it to the end on fuel, but I think these guys are going to try to run these things out as far as they can on fuel. That way they have the freshest tires possible for the last end of this race. You may see a couple of guys, maybe Mitch Rollo or Jose Gonzalez, that have kind of fallen back. Maybe they'll short pit and try to get a jump on Jeff Ward, but for Jeff, he's probably going to run this thing out until everybody else starts pitting, and then once he sees them come, that's when he'll go down. He's not going to be the first one on pit road. I highly doubt that. The furthest they can go is going to be around lap 90. That would be pushing almost 50 laps since they had their last pit stop, so they can't go too much further than that.
And because we are beyond halfway, we will take you side by side for any commercial breaks the rest of this broadcast starting right now. So we'll be back with more of the Windy City Showdown in just a few moments. And from Chicagoland Speedway, Jeff Ward, your race leader in the final race of the RSR Outlaw Truck Series season. We'll go side by side so you won't miss a thing. Stay with us. Welcome back to LSRTV, closing down on the final round of green flag pit stops. A few of the leaders have already come. Mitch Rollo's on pit road right now in the 96 and woes it all the way down to 50 miles an hour. So he's going to try to see what he can do to maybe beat Jeff Ward on a little bit of strategy, coming down a little bit earlier than that 89. And Justin Rosenau, I like this call.
I like this call too. Mitch Rollo actually was doing a whale of a job. Jeff Ward ran out to about a 1.35 second lead over the 96 Mitch Rollo, and Rollo gained that a little bit of time here. Took about a quarter second out of him, and now the 89 of Jeff Ward on pit road. Going to be right sides up on that machine, now left sides up on the 96 of Mitch Rollo. Down and away, clean stop for the 96 of Mitch Rollo. Going to have to see what the 89 of Jeff Ward does.
That's going to be the key. So that's going to shuffle Jose Gonzalez out front right now, and we'll all see how it cycles through. Gonzalez to the point with 74 complete, and we continue to cycle through. Brian, this is about to be fun is what it's about to be.
Yeah, we saw a few guys that came to pit road during the commercial break. Thomas Lattimore was on pit road, as well as Christopher Hurlow and a few other guys. So we definitely already had some guys that were short pitting that are going to try to get an advantage here. Jeff Ward is clean off pit road. It's going to be interesting to see where he comes out in correlation to Mitch Rollo. Right now, Mitch Rollo is on track, up to speed. He's right behind them as Jeff Ward is on the access road trying to get back up to speed. It looks like Rollo is going to pass him and take over what would be the lead when this thing cycles through. So that is a big moment for Mitch Rollo right there.
How about that? The strategy pays off, Justin. I told you I liked that call.
One thing I noticed about Mitch Rollo, he was harder into the pit box and he was harder leaving. Jeff Ward had a little bit of a close call there, almost losing control of that 89 Unical 76 Chevrolet coming off of pit lane on the outlap. So Mitch Rollo gained the better part of 2 seconds on his total in-lap and outlap versus Jeff Ward.
So that's the battle for the lead, and it's going to be, we'll wait and see how it all cycles out. Right now, Dwayne Vincent at lap 76 is your race leader, and we know he has to make one more pit stop, so this is not done going all the way through. Vincent in the 13, though, right now holding on. He's not come to pit road yet.
No, he has not, and he's got about a whole lap lead as the 41 of Jared Como damaged machine riding up on the high side there. Gets out of the way of what will be the leaders when everything cycles out. J.D. Laird actually in front of these guys a little bit. He actually pitted the same lap as the 87 of Christopher Hurlow. Jose Gonzalez actually staying in front now after a cycle of pit stops, so he might have took 2 tires on a strategy call. We'll have to see what happens, but it's a 3-way battle for the provisional lead once pit stop cycles are complete.
Oh boy, could we have asked for any more on the final night of the season? Dwayne Vincent has stayed out for the moment, about a lap's lead on everybody. He needs a caution that I'm not convinced he's going to get in that Toyota Care Toyota Tundra, so we're waiting to see exactly how this is all going to play out, but it looks like 4 trucks right now. Laird, Gonzalez, Rollo, and Ward going to be the ones in contention when we finish cycling it out. We're just waiting on that 13 of Dwayne Vincent to come down pit road. The last truck that has not cycled through, he leads it at lap number 79 across the stripe.
J.D. Laird on 2 tires as well. He made an extra pit stop just to make sure he could try to stay out in front of these guys. It's going to be Jose Gonzalez and J.D. Laird on 2 tires and battle side by side for the 4th spot. The 89 of Jeff Ward, the 96 of Mitch Rollo trading places right now on the racetrack. Ward has the advantage on the bottom side, and out of turn number 4, Jeff Ward clears the 96 of Rollo, but Rollo's fighting back with the draft on the high side.
This is gonna be a scrum, and Jeff Ward takes it across the stripe. That battle is headed for turns 1 and 2. In traffic, Gonzalez is there, Laird is there. This is gonna be the fight for the win when it all shakes out. 26 to the bottom, that's for second.
Gonzalez to the bottom, Laird on the high side. He's not giving up in that JDR Graphics Toyota, albeit damaged. Gonzalez now gets around him, clears him out of turn number 4, and it looks like J.D. Laird just got hit by a brick wall of air. He yields the spot now to 89 of Jeff Ward, the 96 of Mitch Rollo now battling to the inside of the 70 of J.D. Laird. Laird falling like a brick here in the later stages.
Look at Rollo. He is digging off turn number 2. He wants a piece of Jeff Ward for the win. He knows that's his only shot before everything gets too strung out. Now, Brian, I'm watching Dwayne Vincent. There's no way he can make it to the end on fuel, is it?
No, absolutely. He can go at the very most about another 10 laps, and then he's going to have to come down for pit road and get his tires and fuel. He's doing exactly what you've already said. He's staying out there hoping for a caution. That way he can stay up here as the race leader, because at this point, if another caution comes out, everybody's going to come back down pit road and get tires again. They're not going to stay out there and then give Dwayne the advantage on fresh tires. So that's his only chance. If he doesn't get one soon, it's really going to hurt him, because he's going to fall way down the running order, most likely to be the last car on the lead lap, because he's going to lose that much time when it's all said and done.
Strategy calls are fun, and it's what's making this season finale one to remember. The battle for what's gonna be the lead is heating up. Jeff Ward's all over the back bumper of Jose Gonzalez. Mitch Rollo's fallen back a little bit from these two, trying to make something happen. We're down now to 28 laps remaining in this race. Dwayne Vincent holds a 22.5-second lead, but as we documented, he needs another pit stop, and these two, Ward and Gonzalez, fighting for second and third. Ward's chasing after him in 4.
Ward all over the back deck lid, the back tailgate, if you will, of that number 26 Meatball Company Chevrolet of Jose Gonzalez. And these two almost trading paint going into the corner, and you have to wonder if the 96 of Mitch Rollo is going to be sitting there saving his tires to see if Jeff Ward burns them off and kind of gives the advantage back to the hands of the 96 of Mitch Rollo. Side by side, wheel to wheel now going into turn number 3. Jeff Ward on the bottom trying to get around Jose.
I'll take Jeff Ward on the bottom, and he works off turn number 4, and he is going to be half a truck length, and by the time we get to 1, he'll be clear of that 26 of Jose Gonzalez, so move Ward to the second position, as I think Gonzalez may have burned those right sides up. No, he's coming back on him in the 26 as they work off turn 2. Now he gets up into the fence, tags the wall. Oh, and he collects Mitch Rollo. Caution flag flies. 25 to go, and there goes arguably the only guy that could have held a candle to Jeff Ward. Mitch Rollo down to the inside on the back stretch. Got collected when Jose Gonzalez came off the wall, and we're yellow with 85 laps complete. Back straightaway, Justin, it's a mess.
It was a mess. The 26 of Jose Gonzalez just got tight on the high side, got into the backstretch wall out of turn number 2, and poor Mitch Rollo with the 96 did not have anywhere to go, and they end up making contact with that 26 of Jose Gonzalez, going down into the infield, then secondary contact off the inside wall for that 96 of Mitch Rollo. Tough way to end the night for Mitch.
Very tough way to end the night, and that's unfortunate. So now, though, we're going to see a new player at the front of this field. Dwayne Vincent held off for the caution, and it pays off. We'll see what they do on pit stops when we go side by side, and we'll be back for the restart right after this. From Chicagoland Speedway, this is the RSR Outlaw Truck Series Windy City Showdown.
Contact made. 56 slides it into 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even. Give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
Cars are lined up on the grid. The RSR World Championship Grand Prix Series. We are underway. They all come down in turn one for the first time.
Welcome back to LSRTV from Chicagoland Speedway. Under caution as we see a replay of the carnage that ensued at lap 85. And as we watch the replay, I want to bring in RCO Boomtown sim driver Mitch Rollo, who was running third. And Mitch, oh boy, not the way you wanted to end your night at all. Just one of the things, you had nowhere to go when Jose came off the wall. Did you even have time to react?
We're also bringing forward a number of configurations.
No,
so there's chicanes.
That's just the worst luck, man. All I saw was I was just gonna ride up beside him. Saw him going up the track, so I was gonna try and pass him, and he just ended up clobbering the wall and coming down and hit me. I didn't see him till I was spinning through the grass. So, oh man, that's real unfortunate. I thought I had something for Jeff there. If I could have saved my tires a little bit better that run that I did the previous run, man, I think I could have had something for him. So that's real unfortunate for my teammates. You know, I wanted to do it for them. Anthony won in the trucks 2 weeks ago, and I wanted to back that up this week. But unfortunately, didn't go so smooth at the end there.
And as we go back to green, you still got one teammate in this, in Christopher Hurlow, still on the lead lap, so maybe be able to salvage something before it's all said and done. But Mitch, as always, appreciate your time, and we'll see you Monday night.
Yeah, you bet, Jacob. Thank you.
Back to green, though, in the meantime, and what a mess we just had on the restart, Justin. Down the back straightaway, Dwayne Vincent had the runner-up spot, and then got loose down low and had to do a wheel of a job to save it.
Yeah, he saved it all right, but it cost him a couple spots on the racetrack. 53 of Nick Cohan, the 7 of Cody Gibson got around him. Cody Gibson made it 3 wide through the middle and 3 that last time by. Cody Gibson now battling with the 13 of Dwayne Vincent, now 4P4. Vincent now on the bottom side, but we got a battle shaping up for the lead. Jeff Ward's caught Stefan Marinak, and Marinak wants to try to close out the win in style.
It's not going to work, not with this many laps to go and not with only 2 tires. Marinak can hold him off as long as he wants. Jeff Ward will get there eventually. They head for turn 1, and Brian, the question now becomes, how long before it gets over? And actually, as we say that, there it is, right? There's the answer.
Yeah, it's not going to take very long at all. 2 tires was a very strong call by his team, but it's not going to work. I applaud their effort, though. They won the championship, and they're going out there in style trying to win this race to close out the season. He's still side by side. He's trying to hold him off, but Jeff's going to get clear of him. It looks like down the front straightaway here as they go off into turn 1, Jeff's almost clear, and Stefan's going to try to hang on the outside.
Not going to work. Well, I say it's not going to work. He certainly drove it in hard. J.D. Laird down there trying to go for second now. Ward maybe going to get clear. J.D.'s trying to push Marinak forward, and the battle for the lead, Justin, in turn 3.
Battle for the lead. Jeff Ward clears the 25 of Marinak now. Ward to the point. Marinak now on the high side, trying to defend that second spot from the 70 of J.D. Laird. Laird going to nip the 25 at the stripe. Laird now in the second spot, and he's got his sights set on the 89 of Jeff Ward.
Does JD, even with that back end damage, you think, Brian, does JD have a shot at this, or is Jeff Ward just too good here in the closing laps?
Well, JD certainly got his work cut out for him with that damage, but his team did a good job trying to fix that truck up as much as they could, and he's certainly still got a fast truck, obviously, because he's battling for the second position. If he can get clear of Stefan here, he might have a shot at him, but he needs to do it now. He can't waste any time. He's losing a lot of ground to him being side by side, and the more they run side by side, the further away Jeff gets.
Half a second that last time by, and Marinak actually took the second position back away from JD. The battle rages off turn number 2, 25 and 70. They remain side by side with Cody Gibson back there in the 7 in 4th.
Gibson's all over the tailgates of either machine, trying to find a way through, almost making it 3 wide at times on the racetrack. The 70 at JD Laird has a nose on the 25 of Marinak, and the 7 tries to follow down onto the apron narrow. Marinak on the high side, fights back. 53 of Cohan joining the battle. It's a 4-way battle for second in 1.
We can't take our eyes off this. Jeff Ward's gone into the Chicago sunset, and these 4 trucks will not give it up. Laird, bottom side. Marinak, top side. Gibson looking for a way to make it 3 wide in turn 3. Can't do it, and now JD pushing ahead and is finally clear off 4.
Laird now to the second spot. Cody Gibson now working to the inside of the Mach 1 Racing Graphics Chevrolet, but at this point, we're coming up on 12 laps to go next time by. It's going to be all Jeff Ward right now, over a second away from JD Laird, almost 3 wide now for third, as the 7 of Cody Gibson gets really tight and almost collects the 25 of Marinak out of turn number 2. The 53 of Nick Cohan now pushing the 7 of Cody Gibson as they enter turn 3.
Jeff Ward, 1.5 seconds when they come to the stripe in hand, as JD Laird got clear for second, but not even beginning to have the pace to try and run down the 89 now. Best battle on the racetrack is for 4th in turns 1 and 2. 53 Nick Cohan on the bottom. 25 of the new series champ Stefan Marinak up high. That's down the back straightaway, and they're wheel to wheel behind him as well. Matt Lacrosse, Thomas Lattimore, 21 and 03 going at it.
The 21 now taking the spot away from the 03 of Thomas Lattimore. Lattimore trying to cross the 21 of Matt Lacrosse over as we come down the front straightaway. The 2 make contact on the front straightaway. Lattimore almost went around there into the infield, but he saved it and he gathers it back up. But that allows the 14 of Scott Sidley now to start working on the outside quarter panel of that 03 Harley Davidson Chevrolet.
And we continue to watch some of these trucks scramble back in the pack just behind Matt Lacrosse, Thomas Lattimore. We have another truck starting to join the fray in the 14 of Scott Simley. That black truck sneaking into the picture now. He wants to make this a battle for the 7th position with Lattimore, Lacrosse, Marinak just ahead of him in 6th and 5th respectively. And that's a 5-truck battle from 4th on back as they head through turns 1 and 2, led by Nick Cohan.
Cohan on the loud pedals, trying to open up a gap between him and the points champion, the 25 of Marinak. He's following suit. He's on the bottom side along with the 53 of Cohan, but the 21 of Matt Lacrosse now trying to battle back right behind the 25 of Marinak on the bottom side. Just running in line, single file, everybody on the racetrack at this point, just trying to see what they can do to gain one spot on the other. The 03 of Lattimore looks now to press the 21 of Matt Lacrosse as they enter 1.
9 laps to go that time by the stripe, and the best battle maybe for second before it's all over between Cody Gibson and JD Laird, but Jeff Ward has just left the premises. He's in another zip code, 2 seconds ahead of the rest of this field. And the battle for second still raging. Cody Gibson all over the back bumper of JD Laird this time by Brian. 8 laps to go.
Yeah, Cody Gibson is another truck that was involved in a wreck earlier on. He was actually involved in the 6-truck melee that took out all the RCO Boomtown guys there earlier on, and he's doing a really good job. His crew also did a good job patching that truck up, and it's amazing. These trucks are just so powerful. Even when they get beat up, they still have a lot of speed in them, and they take a lick and they keep right on running. So these guys have all done a really good job. As it does look like the 53 of Nicholas Cohan is starting to creep up in there. He wants to make it a 3-truck battle for the second position as we close up this race.
And behind him, we have got a side-by-side battle for the 5th spot. Matt Lacrosse, 21, inside of our new series champ, Stefan Marinak in the 25. They're wheel-to-wheel in turns 1 and 2. Lacrosse got 5th, that time by the stripe, and he wants to bring Thomas Lattimore with him off turn 2. Marinak's fading.
Marinak with 2 tires off of pit road on that last round of pit stops underneath the caution flag. Lattimore now working door-to-door, wheel-to-wheel with the points champion now out of turn number 4. Give the advantage to Lattimore now on the bottom side as they come across the stripe. This time by 6 laps to go here at Chicagoland.
6 to go, and the side-by-side battle in 1 is between the 03 of Lattimore and the 25 of Marinak. Lattimore got into him, and now Scott Sibley gets into the side of Stefan Marinak as they work down the back straightaway. Marinak's just a pinball at this point as everybody's trying to force their way on by.
Battle shaping up for the 2nd spot. Cody Gibson laying the wood to the number 70 at J.D. Laird. Nick Cohan now dives to the bottom after contact made between the 2 trucks. 5 laps to go here at Chicagoland. Cohan on the bottom trying to take away P2 from Laird.
You're not missing anything up front. Jeff Ward is gone by nearly 3 seconds, and Nick Cohan trying to make a couple of moves. It's a 3-truck battle for that 2nd position. Laird's got it. Gibson and Cohan, the 2 teammates from Steel Horse Racing, they want it. This time by just 6 miles. 4 laps remain as we continue to watch this battle. Jeff Ward, he's about halfway to Indiana at this point, Justin. I mean, that truck has been just brilliant tonight. I told you, he kept the cards close to the vest, and he fooled us all.
He certainly did. And I tell you what, he's probably dang near back into the Eastern time zone on the other side of the Indiana state line as we're coming around this time by to make it 3 laps to go here at Chicagoland. Battle still on for P2. Cody Gibson trying to reel back in the 70 of J.D. Laird off of 4. Going to be about 2 truck lengths this time by across the stripe.
3 laps to settle it. And Brian, for Jeff Ward, this is a statement win. This is a win that says even though we missed 2 races and weren't able to contend for the championship, we should have won it. Overall, that's going to be 5 wins in 8 races, and caution flag is gonna seal it, coming to 2 laps to go. There we go, the 55, Anthony Palumbo, trouble. He was running in 10th. Oh my. Well, I would say that's almost fitting. 3.4 seconds, Justin, was the gap at the caution flag, and Jeff Ward gonna steal himself another one.
Gonna steal himself another one, he did, but the melee there that brought out the final caution flag here on lap 108. The 13 of Dwayne Vincent gets up into the 03 of Thomas Lattimore. Replay up on your screen. You're going to see there off of 2, Lattimore on the high side, just trying to hold position, hold serve, if you will, against the 13 of Dwayne Vincent. Vincent drifts up, and around they go. They collect the 55 of Anthony Palumbo and several other trucks on the back straightaway. This handing the win now to the 89 of Jeff Ward.
Caution and white going to be coming out together when they get to the flag stand this time by, and for the Unocal 76 Silverado of Jeff Ward, I mentioned the numbers a minute ago, but I'll say it again. 5 wins in 8 races. One of them as a sub for his teammate Dan Murray, but I'll tell you right now, had that win that he got as a sub, Justin, had he been running for points in that race himself, he would be the champion tonight. Do you sit here and second guess yourself after that?
You almost have to be honest with you. And then also with that battle with, Anthony DeBarro there at Charlotte there, that was one heck of a battle there. Ward showing respect to DeBarro, and DeBarro earning the victory the hard way against the hottest driver in real sim racing. Jeff Ward going to shake off the rough week and a half time period at the Michigan International Speedway in all series. The B car, he wrecked in the lead. The A car, he wrecked in the lead. Tonight, Jeff Ward going to put it in victory lane in style, running away from the field here at Chicagoland.
It was 3.4 seconds, the gap, when the caution flag came out, and when he comes off of turn number 4 this time, he will see a welcome sight. Caution, and more importantly, checkers. For the 5th time in 2015 in this Outlaw Truck Series, Jeff Ward's going to come to the line, and Jeff Ward is going to be a winner here tonight in the finale for the Outlaw Truck Series at Chicagoland Speedway. He takes the win in the Windy City Showdown ahead of J.D. Laird and Cody Gibson on the podium. It's been a banner season for that Unocal University of Kentucky number 89 team. He'll get to burn it down on the front straightaway. And Brian, could you ask for any more? I mean, that's how you finish a season right there.
Yeah, the only way it would have been any better is if he did run for points in that one race that you were talking about, and then he would have been celebrating as the winner and the champion. But there's nothing for him to hold his head about here, to hang his head about. He did an amazing job in the races he was racing for points in. 5 wins in 8 races is absolutely incredible. That's not something you hear of very often. And now he's on the front stretch, burning it down. He's going to send it off into the grass, and he's going to celebrate big time here as the season finally comes to a close.
Jeff Ward burning it down, 5th win of the year, as he takes the checkered flag and heads for the grass. We'll talk to the podium and our champion, Stefan Marinac, gets a trophy. We'll hear from him and the rest of the top finishers in just a moment on the LSRTV post-race show from Chicagoland Speedway. This is the RSR Outlaw Truck Series.
Trucking has always been a part of me. It started years ago when my dad and granddad were hauling vegetables to market in Liverpool. The family immigrated to Canada in the late 60s and settled near Alliston, Ontario. I bought my first truck in 1982 and Mercer Trucking was born. Today, Mercer Trucking has over 50 trucks in terminals in Toronto and Los Angeles. Our storage facilities at both terminals can handle any size of distribution needs throughout North America. We service the continental U.S., including Hawaii and Alaska. We run over 120,000 miles per month and some of the best equipment on the road today. We specialize in less than truckload shipments, show freight, we do rush team service deliveries, and haul your refrigerated or heated product. Our regular team service from Canada to California is second to none, and our staff and drivers are among the best in the business. I'm proud of our people and what they can achieve. Trucking is in my blood, it's my livelihood, and it's what I do best.
Here's the thing that makes life so interesting. The theory of evolution claims only the strong shall survive. Maybe so. Maybe so. But the theory of competition says just because they're the strong doesn't mean they can't get their asses kicked. That's right. See, what every long shot come from behind underdog will tell you is this. The other guy may in fact be the favorite. The odds may be stacked against you, fair enough. But what the odds don't know is this isn't a math test. This is a completely different kind of test. One where passion has a funny way of trumping logic. So before you step up to the starting line, before the whistle blows and the clock starts ticking. Just remember, out here, the results don't always add up. No matter what the stats may say, and the experts may think, and the commentators may have predicted, when the race is on, all bets are off. Don't be surprised if somebody decides to flip the script and take a pass on yelling uncle. And then suddenly, as the old saying goes, we got ourselves a game.
Welcome back to LSRTV and the beginning of the RSR post-race show from Chicagoland Speedway. Jacob Seelman, Brian Macklin, Justin Rosenau about to head down to pit road to catch up with our top finishers and, of course, our champion, Stefan Marinac. We will get a lot of business done here in just a couple of minutes. My friend, we're going to do this a little bit unorthodox, but you, my friend, are down with the PR rep for Cody Gibson, who came home third tonight, and actually, he did a pretty good job himself. Nick Cohan comes home fourth, and I guess we get a 2-for-1 special with this one.
Yeah, I have caught up with the driver of the number 53 at the Toyota Tundra, and he's representing the number 7 Smart Water Toyota Tundra for Cody Gibson. Nick, we'll start with how your race went, and then we'll go to Cody's. What was it like for you tonight trying to battle through this field? You started in the 12th position and worked your way all the way up into the 4th position. What was that like?
Maybe so.
It was pretty fun. Conserving tires.
But the theory of competition says just because they're the strong doesn't mean they can't get their asses kicked.
Make sure I keyed in on that.
That's right.
Slowly worked my way up.
Every long shot come from behind underdog will tell you is this.
Tire wear.
The other guy may in fact be the favorite.
And you did a really good job with that. As for Cody, he was caught up in that lap 32 wreck that took out 6 trucks early on in this race. What was it like for him having to get the truck repaired and get back up there and battle through the long green flag runs with the damaged race truck and still manage to get up there and get a top 3 finish for him? How did he manage to do that, and what was it like for him to have to try to battle through that attrition?
To be honest, I don't know.
Before the whistle blows and the clock starts ticking.
That last pit stop there,
just
he was
remember,
pulling away
out
from me,
here,
and he had damage on his
the results don't always add
up. He did
up.
a hell of a job, fighting back there. Takes a lot.
No matter
to
what the stats may say,
in the first
and
place,
the experts may
damage
think
twice as hard.
Yeah, and you guys both did a really, really good job. Talk about your season. What was it like for you guys coming out here week in and week out, knowing you're going to have to try to chase down Jeff Ward and trying to find a way to beat him? Obviously, it was a very difficult thing to do. If you could do anything different throughout the season, what would you have done differently?
I don't know what I could do differently. Being on Steel Horse Racing is awesome. Jeff being a teammate here has really helped, along with everybody else. And first off, got to congratulate Stefan for the championship. He did a hell of a job. But yeah, being on SHR has really helped a lot, and so helpful, and just helping me get that every little bit of speed I can every week is awesome.
All right, Nick. Well, we need you to play the sponsor guy now. Who makes it happen for you, for not only for you but for Cody as well? What sponsors do you need to plug? Any shout outs you want to make?
Well, of course, we got to thank Steel Horse Racing and Jason Swan for putting this team together. All the teammates, K&N, Castrol, Target, and CJ Automotive, done a hell of a job this year so far.
All right, thank you, Nick. That was your 4th place finisher. He was also representing 3rd place finisher Cody Gibson. We are now going to move a little bit further down pit road, where I believe Justin Rosenau has caught up with 2nd place finisher JD Laird.
Alongside the driver, the number 70 JD Laird Graphics. number, 70 Toyota. JD Laird, you came home a strong second there. You had a lot of damage on the truck. Tell us how you did it.
By pure luck. That's basically the only way to put it. After the wreck on lap 30, I knew I was pretty much done, and the only way to get at least a top 10 out of it was to trick everybody with pit strategy. So when I ducked on pit road, it was the perfect time to where I could run the whole tank out and make it to the end. And I went from about 13th to 5th, and all my luck decided to come back, and somehow I ended up second.
Formed a new group with Jack Coleman, Pedro Mojica, the guys, We Dem Boys. New partnership forming up shows a lot of promise here in all series in real sim racing. You want to tell us a little bit how that all came together?
It's basically a bunch of guys in TeamSpeak that wanted to go take a shot at the Cup Series, and just a bunch of basically there's really no other way to put it. It's just a bunch of guys that just wanted to race. So it's like, all right, let's race this. And since I didn't want to really race it, but I wanted to watch, I got promoted, I guess you could say, to the crew chief, and stole a couple of wins this season. And I guess you could say I'm part of We Dem Boys.
All right, JD, great run. You beat some of the best drivers in all of real sim racing here tonight. Who's responsible for getting you on the track week in and week out?
Well, first off, I'd like to thank you guys at LSRTV, RSR, for putting on this series and this broadcast. I wasn't really feeling too hot after lap 30, but to see how the race played out, my spirits are a little lifted. So thanks to you guys. I've got to also thank JDR Graphics, which is myself, Aquatech Glassing, Anderson Surfboards, Langford Farm Spirited by Brad, SegPay, Enlighten, all the boys back at the TeamSpeak shop, and that's pretty much it.
Driver, the JDR Graphics Toyota, JD Laird coming home a strong second in the number 70, and now down to Gatorade Victory Lane. Jacob Seelman, you got our winner, Jeff Ward.
I feel like I've done this a time or two, or actually this is the 5th time in 8 races that we get to do this down here, indeed, in Gatorade Victory Lane, where the shower starts one final time in the Outlaw Truck Series season. Jeff Ward, you get it done again, and you told us at the beginning of the night you weren't even going to be a factor. So where did that run come from?
I don't know, Jacob. I mean, we qualified 5th there, and I was thinking to myself, well, this is going to be an interesting night, because I didn't feel like we was that fast. We're pretty good in practice, and then qualifying, we stunk pretty much, and Anthony looked fast, and the Boomtown guys were real quick, and I don't really know. I don't know that we really figured anything out in the race. It's just I thought I wasn't going to be very good on long runs, and then we ended up having a pretty good truck there on long runs, so. Yeah, it's good to talk to you guys again. That means we had a good night and kind of bounced back from the bad luck we had in the Cup Series. And I got to congratulate Stefan Marinak. You know, he's really consistent. That's a great championship for him and well deserved.
I hate to be the guy with the numbers, but you know me, and I've always got one little tidbit. And I think the tidbit that sticks out for me, Jeff, in your Truck Series season is the race that you ran as a sub for your horse teammate Dan Murray and won as one of the 5 wins on the year. Had that win credited you for points instead of Dan, had you run it for points, the championship would have had a far different outcome. Looking back on it now, do you sit here and think to yourself, what if? Or do you just take 5 wins in hand and know that it was easily enough, you could have done it had all the cards fallen the right way?
Yeah, looking back, I mean, I always like to help a teammate out, and that was awesome that we was able to get the win for Dan that night. Yeah, looking back, we probably should have entered our own truck in there and try to make a run at the thing, but you know, at the time, I was just, like I was telling Justin, I was just focused on Xfinity, and I hadn't really planned on running trucks
and I got in there and had a blast running for Dan. So I thought, what the heck, let's just try to run it out and see if we can't make a run for it. So it was an amazing run, with the guys behind me and being able to get the wins there. We came up a little short, but like I said, the championship winner deserved it. So we did all we could do and had an absolute blast with it.
The final tally shows, I believe, it's going to be officially 29 points short, Jeff. But it was a heck of a run, like you said. And a little birdie told me you had a little bit of help going into tonight. No chance that had anything to do with this 89 truck being fast at the tail end, is there?
I don't know.
It's been a run. I know you're good at this by now. Sponsors, shout-outs, Jeff. Who makes it happen for you in the 89 crew?
Yep, Steel Horse Racing. Guys are strong as usual, and you guys been enjoying these broadcasts all year. Just Unical that we brought on there. I got to thank Kevin Pearson for helping paint my cars most of the year, and I thank RSR. This league is top notch, so that's about it.
For the 5th time in 2015 in the Truck Series, Jeff Ward stands in Gatorade Victory Lane, a winner. Now, I'll move over to the championship stage, and while I'm doing that, Justin, Brian, let's take a look down the final Ford Performance full field rundown.
Jeff Ward takes home the victory tonight over the number 70 of J.D. Laird, who comes home second. The 7 of Cody Gibson comes home third. The 4th spot goes to the 53 of Nicholas Cohan. Matt Lacrosse rounds out your top 5 tonight in the 21 truck, and Scott Simley in the 14 finishes 6th. 56 Wyatt Wolf Jr. finishes 7th. 25 Stephen Marinac, your champion, comes home 8th. 87 Christopher Herlow comes home 9th, and the 88 of Paul Williams Jr. rounds out your top 10.
In the 11th position, the number 23 of John Klickner. Anthony Palumbo was your last truck finishing on the lead lap. He was driving the number 55. He finished in the 12th position. 2 laps down in the 13th position, driving the number 13, was Dwayne Vincent. Thomas Lattimore was 3 laps down in the 14th position. Also 3 laps down in the 15th position was David Camara. Jose Gonzalez ended up 4 laps down in the 16th position, and then the last 4 finishers were all out of the race. Mitch Rollo, 23 laps down in 17th, Jared Como, 41 laps down in 18th, Anthony DeBarro, who had a very strong run early on and caught up in the lap 32 melee, he finished 63 laps down in the 19th position, and Kevin Linden, who was also caught up in that lap 32 melee, he finished in the 20th position, 65 laps down.
And now, down to the championship stage, Jacob Seelman alongside your champion, the 25 of Stephen Marinac.
The celebration's about to get kicked off down here on the champion stage on the front straightaway at Chicagoland, and we are down here with the driver of the number 25, Stephen Marinac. 8 races later, you had an Xfinity car title with RSR a couple of seasons ago, and now you add a truck title to your resume as well. You made a gamble, 2 tires, trying to get the win and maybe cap off the season in style. Didn't quite pay off. Was there anything else you could have done there late in the race to try and make it happen, or was that the last-ditch effort to try and go out with a bang tonight?
Yeah, I wasn't really fast at all, so I had to try something. I didn't have a lot of laps on my left side tires, so I just went for it, and it worked for probably 10 or so laps, but after that, it just started falling off a lot, but I had to try something.
Tried something, gave it a shot, but it still gives you the big trophy at the end of this 8-race series, and knowing that Jeff Ward was as good as he was, winning 5 of these, and still coming up a little bit short in the title race. What does it mean to you to come away with this championship knowing how good some of the other cars in this field really were?
Well, yeah, Jeff was definitely the most dominant truck all season. Luckily for me, he missed a race, so I took advantage of that. I just tried to manage my gap on Matt and Scott all season, and just played it pretty consistent except for this last race after I had it locked up, and it worked out.
it worked out well. And really quickly, before we get the big hardware in here, I want to give you a chance here on the champion stage to say thanks to all the people who have made your season possible. Stefan, sponsors, shout-outs, thank yous. Who do we need to get to?
Yeah, I want to thank all my teammates, first of all. They help me out and they make it a lot of fun to race. Mach 1 Racing Graphics, the Meatball Company, RSR, ITSR, and you guys for doing the broadcast.
There's the words from the champ, and now for the official Outlaw Truck Series Championship Trophy presentation, we'll bring in the representative and race director for the Outlaw Truck Series, Mr. Steve Herring. Steve?
Thank you, Jacob. This is a couple of these I've done all the time. They don't get old. So on behalf of all the admins and drivers here at RSR, I'd like to congratulate you, Stefan, on the Outlaw Truck Series Championship. And as Jacob said, I was also part of your first series title in the Xfinity car, also at RSR, where you had a great battle with Bobby Terrell that season. Again, congrats to you and your sponsor, Mach 1 Racing Graphics, and on a great season. Congratulations.
Thank you, Steve. Thanks to RSR for putting this series on.
How about that? We'll get the photo op in here too. Stefan Marinac gets to celebrate on the stage. And Justin, I'll throw it up to you and Brian. Any thoughts? I mean, this 25 truck was, as he said, the most consistent all year, and it pays with this hardware down here on the stage.
It certainly does. Stefan Marinac taking a page out of what Dwayne Vincent's currently doing in the Cup Series, and no discredit to Stefan. He actually laid it on everybody, taking home a win, being a contender in the late stages of just about every single race on the Outlaw Truck Series calendar. Congratulations go out to the driver of that 25, Stefan Marinac, and the team at Wolfpack Racing. And Brian, I know you got to be just as happy for Stefan.
Yeah, I've had the pleasure of racing with Stefan in the Cup Series and also in a few other series, and he's one of the best drivers out there as far as being a hard racer, but being a respectful racer, and it's a lot of fun to get the opportunity to race against him and to get to sit up here and now call these races and get to congratulate him on the championship. It's just an incredible moment. Stefan did a great job this season being consistent and winning that one race like you talked about, and just constantly being there at the end of these races and getting the finishes he needed to go home with a championship. So it was an incredible season for him, and I'm sure he's looking to carry that over to the Cup Series, and I'm sure he's actually going to start doing that. He's got a lot of speed week in and week out, and it's only a matter of time.
Jacob Seelman, any final thoughts for you?
I've got a couple, but I'll save mine for last because we don't often get a chance to hear from the voices behind the scenes at RSR. So real quickly, Steve Herring, I'll turn back to you. It's been a fun season. I really hate to see it end, especially with as much racing as we had tonight. It was a fantastic show. Great way to conclude the Outlaw Truck Series for 2015 here on LSRTV.
I agree, Jacob. I just wanted to extend our appreciation to and thank LSR for another great broadcast series. Kudos to you and Justin and Macklin for running around in the pits, which is probably the best place for him to be anyway. So RSR is really happy to be teamed up with LSR TV for all of our broadcast series. And again, another great series.
I enjoyed it, and a final thought just goes out to both of these drivers that we saw celebrate on the front straightaway tonight. Well-earned trophies. Jeff Ward with the win, Stefan Marinac with the championship, and it was competitive all the way to the end. So my congratulations for the final time this season go out to tonight's race winner, Jeff Ward, for the 5th time in 2015, and to Stefan Marinac on his first Outlaw Truck Series championship. And as we say goodnight from the Windy City here in Chicagoland, we want to extend our thanks as well to Real Sim Racing and all the crew behind the scenes at RSR for helping us to make this show possible. So right now, for Steve, Brian, Justin, and our executive producer, Laura Lawson from Chicagoland Speedway, I'm Jacob Seelman, reminding all you race fans out there to keep it off the wall until we meet again. We'll see you next time on the web. Until 2016 for the trucks, so long and good night from Chicago.